I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, let's talk about the latest statistics coming out of the Vancouver Real Estate Board. They just came out for July, so I'll just brush on them here. Talk about inventory as well. This currently right now is some of the lowest inventory ever in the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board. We are now below 10,000 homes listed. I know that sounds like a lot for some people, but we generally do not dip below 10,000 homes for sale. The current active sales to listings ratio right now is at 34%. So that is a fairly strong seller's market still. Anything over 20 is considered a seller's market. Anything from 12 to 20 is considered balanced. Below 12 is a buyer's market. So we seldom in Lower Mainland here, Vancouver Real Estate Board, ever go into a buyer's market. Maybe 15% of the time, maybe another 10 or 15% of the time it's balanced. The majority of the time though, we're in a seller's market here, and that's not going to change. Very little inventory. We're not building anything here, as I've said for many years on my blog. That's one of the things that keeps Vancouver real estate so high. It's a trickle-in supply. You can thank government for that. City of Vancouver, local government, provincial government for sure, with all their restrictions. But of course, then too, we've got geography restrictions here too. Mountains, water, agricultural land reserve. And then throw in the barriers for permits and getting approval for density and all that other good stuff. The NIMBYs. So it's a trickle-in supply, and the cavalry is not on the way. That's the scary part. Inventory is incredibly low right now, nothing for sale. Sellers are holding tight to what they have, and I don't blame them. I would be too. It's very difficult right now for someone to move up market. In other words, go from a one-bedroom to a townhouse, or from a two-bedroom to a townhouse or a duplex, or from a duplex to a full detached home. Very difficult to do because there's no inventory. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The process of moving up market. You've got to sell your home, try and get a bridge loan or in-term financing, buy some extra time before you have to complete. It's not an easy task to do with our current inventory levels here. But I'll just talk about a couple of things. So as expected, I was tweeting out some stuff a couple of weeks ago. The July numbers, sales have been slowing the last couple of months. June was a little slower than May, and now July was down about 11% from June for sales, not prices. Prices have been holding steady here. Condo prices, detached prices are up for the year for sure, but they've been kind of just treading water here the last couple of months. But, of course, you'll see the news headlines saying, sales in Vancouver are dropping. They dropped 11% month over month. Well, you got to take that with a grain of salt. And this is typical with the media. They only like to point to the negative stuff, like I've always said here. A lot of this is seasonal. We are in the dog days of summer here. July was a record month, I think, for sunshine and heat. A lot of people are on vacation. Realtors are taking a break after a very hectic last 18 months with COVID. But the main thing is that there is just nothing to sell. There's very little inventory. Try and look for a good detached home in East Vancouver and have a look at what you're going to bring up, say under $1.8 million. Not much. Try and look under $2 million. Have a look at good quality one-bedroom condos under $700,000 in downtown Vancouver. You're going to bring up some listings, but I can tell you that most of them are not worth going after. Hugging up on a bridge, old strata, has issues, maybe it's overpriced. There is very little inventory. I can tell you that they're right now in downtown Vancouver. I work with a lot of investors. There are 2 units available in all of downtown for good quality one beds. One just got sold last night, multiple offers. I missed out on it, did not get it, way over asking, subject free. The other one, offer night, is coming up this Monday, and I will be offering on it with a client. That's it. There's 2. We'll see what happens later this next week and the week after. But for right now, August, inventory is low and there's not a lot getting listed, and there usually isn't. August is a slow month. I've got probably 5 listings I'm going to be putting out after Labor Day. I'm saving them till after the summer's over. So, when you look at sales going down 11% month over month, you always have to take it into consideration with what's available in the inventory. And this is why prices have not flinched. As a matter of fact, they're still going up just ever so slightly on a lot of the good quality one-bedroom units. Townhomes are still going up. Detached homes are probably treading water. So the prices are still at or near record prices. Even though the sales have dropped, the reason being is that the inventory has dropped too. The active sales to listings ratio, as I say, is currently at 34%. So that is a strong seller's market across the board there. And that, the media generally doesn't like to pick that stat up. It's one of the best stats to look at because it takes both listings, active listings, and sales. You have to always look at both ends of the equation. So let's see what happens this fall. For right now, sales have dropped a little bit. Prices are holding steady. Inventory, again, is some of the lowest I've ever seen. It's tough, as I say right now, people are hanging on to what they've got. Very little turnover in the good quality one beds and the good stratas I'm continuously buying into. Detached homes, people are holding tight to those on the east side, especially if they've got a laneway and rental units down. Townhomes, I saw an article that came out that townhome inventory is the lowest in history. Townhomes are as rare as hen's teeth right now. And again, the scary part is that the cavalry is not on its way here. I was telling you guys this all last year during COVID. I was saying that, hey, listen, I think the market's going to stay pretty strong here. If anything, look out for that coiled spring effect, where developers now they never were all that active anyways the last 2 years with the NDP government. When they came into power, a lot of developers decided to take a break because they just don't trust the NDP, with all their taxes and restrictions and all the other stuff that goes along with that. Tax everything to death. COVID made it worse because that then put all the developers on the sidelines. So when I look at what's coming online here for townhomes, for condos in downtown, east side, west side Vancouver, there is not a whole lot. Have a look. All the stuff downtown is going to be ultra luxury condos. There are a few pre-sales that have just launched here, but we're talking $1,800, $2,000, $2,500 a square foot. As a matter of fact, the last pre-sale over here at Burrard Place 2, that's the first pre-sale they've had in downtown Vancouver, I think since the Butterfly project 2 years ago. And from what I understand, it pretty much sold most of what they had at extremely high prices. We're talking $800,000 for a very small one bedroom, plus GST. So the cavalry is not on the way. People are holding tight to what they've got because I have a number of clients that would like to move up market here. I've got one they're in Yaletown currently. They want to get into a townhouse or a duplex, but there is nothing in the townhouse market really out there. And you see, it's a leap of faith with these people. What you have to do is you have to list your condo first, get a firm deal on it, so subjects removed. As their listing realtor, what I can try and do is buy them some extra time. So rather than a 4 or 5 week close, I'll try and get them maybe a 8 or 9 or 10 week close. Once they've got a firm deal in place, now, not in all cases, but with these particular clients, they can get interim financing, meaning that they could buy their new place before they have to move out of their current condo. So in other words, they might hold 2 mortgages for a couple of weeks. But you see, that's the best situation. That way they don't have to move twice. Otherwise, they'd have to move, put their stuff in storage, and then move into their new place. People don't want to do that. But it's a leap of faith here. Let's say I buy them 2 months. There's nothing currently on the market, zero, for townhomes that they want to buy that they're interested in. So we sell their place, and now the clock starts ticking down on trying to get a good townhouse for them. And we have to move into it in 8 weeks. It's a tall task. So for that reason, that's kind of perpetuating this low inventory level here. There's nothing that these people can move up to. Everyone's kind of waiting for a little more inventory. Then maybe we'll list their current place and try and stretch out the completion and hopefully be able to find something before that. But it is a leap of faith. And I have to tell my clients that, when we do that, priority number 1 is to sell your home for the maximum amount of money. That should be your first priority. Not under the gun to sell it quick or anything else. Let's do that. I'll buy you as much time as I can on the completion. But If after 2 months we still haven't been able to lock you into a new place, then you have to have a plan B. And unfortunately, that plan B is you got to move your stuff into storage, pay $300 or $400 a month for a storage locker for a month or two, and then probably move into a furnished rental. Now, luckily in Vancouver, there still are a lot of those corporate rentals available. You can rent a one bedroom for $3,000 a month furnished. It's not the best situation, but it'll fill the gap until we can find a new home for them. And at least this way, it takes some of the pressure off. Now we can negotiate, take our time to find them the right house. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but that's the leap of faith you're taking. That's one of the reasons why people are hanging tight here. There's just no inventory, and they'd like to move up, sell their condo, but at this point, it doesn't make, there's nothing out there. Maybe that'll change this fall. We'll see. But for now, make no bones about it. This is still a strong seller's market, folks. Sales have slowed a little bit, dog days of summer, but the inventory has also come down as well. I often say this, if 3 or 4 good quality one beds came up in some of the preferred stratas, I would definitely be offering on most of them. I have a queue of buyers here. I've always got investor buyers that I've kind of got carte blanche with. If a good unit comes up, Owen, send it to me. And if you don't have an active buyer, send it to me and maybe we'll throw an offer in. But I wish I had more stuff to offer them. There just isn't a lot of inventory out there. And I don't think the cavalry, as far as new development, is on the way, at least for a couple more years. Comes fall, we should see an increase in listings. We'll see. I know I'm going to be listing a lot more homes. And the real story will be, will the buyers come out to keep pace with the new listings, if that does materialize? If they don't, then we could see a little bit of price pressure coming down. But who knows? We'll see what happens when the time comes this fall, and I'll keep you guys updated. I'm Owen Bigland. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.